Charlie Morgan has changed the way that I think about everything. At a crazy moment today, I was just reflecting on this idea and this thought that I wanted to share with you guys. One of the things that Charlie talked about was his outreach epiphany, and I just wanted to share some reflections on that because, in my own light, I feel as if I had somewhat of an epiphany through his epiphany. It's kind of crazy how it came full circle, but Sam and I have been thinking. I went on a complete deep Fable run on Claude. If you know, you know. Claude has like a basically it's like a LLM model called Fable, and it's super super great for just figuring out complex things. But long story short, I ran Fable through just kind of some ideas and what we were trying to piece together, some scripts, like I've mentioned in some of the previous videos, and we started to kind of just project a little bit ahead into the future on what this business could potentially turn into, especially since Sam had a conversation with a 11 clinician owner, which was kind of a huge deal, and we got a lot of data from that. And long story short, we kind of started to see the vision of the business coming together. And per Charlie's outreach epiphany, basically it just came down to his beliefs. He tried to change his morning routine, change his habits, like stop having sugar, all this stuff. And it all just came down to how he believed what he believed. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, Sam Ovens, one of Charlie's original mentors and personally one of my mentors, said, you don't have a business problem, you have a personal problem that reflects in your business, right? And it's funny because when this epiphany happened for me, seeing the business kind of like come full circle, where I'm like, oh man, wow, yeah, this business is a high ticket recurring problem that's extremely painful, and we don't quite have the solution for it yet, but we're able to figure it out, and we're able to make this work. So like my mind went to its default mode to be like, oh no, that's painful, and like, oh no, you shouldn't figure that out. So it's kind of, I don't want to say embarrassing, but like it's almost like a little like eye-opening, because I spent all day today basically making this website here for what was my old personal brand. Now this is kind of funny, right? Because before I was in this business with Sam, I was trying to pursue entrepreneurship and do digital products and have a personal brand and like all this fun stuff. So when I felt the epiphany of like, oh my god, yeah, voice expansion, like we're going to make this work, it's going to actually happen, I defaulted back to what was more pleasurable, because I was linking so much pain, and my beliefs were linking, I don't want to do this, I don't want to like actually try to solve this expensive problem and like actually try to figure it out. And it's kind of crazy because I was like starting to design a whole new business and like kind of move away from success, almost like fear of success, because it's like, man, yeah, like we got it in the bag now. It just requires a little bit extra work. And that kind of just like spoke to me today, because I want to be valuable by doing my life's work, right? Like I want to be able to grow the business. I want to be able to have the personal brand. And that's kind of what this journey and mainly this video is about, right? This is kind of like not like a humility moment, but like it's also just kind of like a being real with you guys moment, because it's like, man, yeah, maybe you've dealt with like, you had a moment where you're like, man, yeah, I'm like so close to figuring out what I want to do or what I've been trying to do. Because Sam and I, we've been cracking at this for about not a consistent straight 6 months, but like almost 5-6 months of cracking at this like full time, and we've only really been doing it 3 months like in person together. So she's only really been off of work the last 3-4 weeks. So it's kind of just crazy, because your mind has a crazy battle going on inside of it, and I feel like that's going on in my mind. It's like, yeah, like I feel like I should do this, I feel like I should do that, Um, but I think back to Charlie's Epiphany, it really just comes back to what you believe, and changing those beliefs, right? Like the whole idea is like, oh, like I could do the business on the side too, like it's something I want to pursue, but you have to keep conditioning your beliefs, I guess is all that to say, right? Like you want to, you know, take action with new beliefs and just make sure that you're always challenging your thoughts. Um, at least that's kind of like how I'm trying to be more intentive or intentional rather about it, because it's like I could totally just let this slip by, right? I could just be like, you know what, Ryan, maybe you can't solve that problem that costs 3 to 5K a month every month. Maybe you just can't figure it out. Maybe you should just do digital products that nobody wants. And it's like that, like that's what I believed before. But like the whole point of this video is to come in and say, hey, I don't support that belief. That belief doesn't support me. And then figuring out enough evidence to change that belief. It's really just like, I think a lot of it too, like a theme in my life is just like self-command, right? Like, how can you command yourself, lead yourself to just do the thing, right? Like without thinking about it. Like when you say go, go. Like that's like the whole idea that I'm seeing here in real time. And it really does just require applied effort, right? It's never like supposed to be easy, like because there's like a lot of fear and pain and daunt towards trying to solve a problem that big, because it's like, yeah, truthfully, I don't 100% know how to do it, but if you have a strong enough reason why, and what to solve, which is like what came into my awareness, like the how will come, right? So I know why I want to do this voice expansion business. I know what needs to be done after my whole convo with Fable. Now the how should just follow suit. It's like, as long as you believe you can, beliefs, and just have faith and effort, this is going to be crazy come around. Because I have this like journal that I haven't really written on. It's like the road. I was kind of like not sure if I really want to share this, but it's called The Road to 1 Mil. And it's basically like every, what's it kind of like, it's like a magical moment journal, right? Where it's like, I started this journal, man, when was it? It was my first UPW Tony Robbins event in 2025. So I think that's when I made the decision where I'm like, yeah, like I'm going to go make $1 million. And the idea with this journal was to kind of like highlight and document big key moments of that journey. And I was taking a shower before this and I was like, yeah, like I think I'm going to pull out that journal because this is one of those big moments, right? Like I literally just built an entire, side business and website and personal brand in 6 hours on ChatGPT after making a software in like 8 hours the other day, and pretty much building this entire business hypothesis in a viable way that's actually going to actually really help people. So just something feels like it's summer season, guys. It is July. It is a very interesting time of the year. That's, the thing is like when you follow the seasons of life, it's like that's what happens, and like everything is hot right now, so yeah, I don't know, that's kind of just my epiphany thought today, kind of ranty rambly video, but I think it's definitely one for the books. It's going to be interesting to kind of see how I respond to this moving forward, but hey, that's what this whole vlog is about, right? It's to just kind of be transparent, share the raw, real, behind the scene with what's going on, because this is like, these are some crazy thoughts I would have never shared publicly, but it's cool because it's part of the real journey, because I come from somebody who, I wouldn't say I had the best beliefs a couple years ago. I always, had faith and hope, but I don't think the beliefs were really there, and that's why Charlie Morgan's Outreach Epiphany really stood out today, I think, because I was tying it to, it's crazy, man. If you're like me and you believe in divine timing, like you know what I mean, because like sometimes some things just happen at a certain time where you're just like, man, that is crazy that just happened when that happened. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I have like so many things I gotta chunk down into just practical next steps with the voice expansion. Hence, reason why I like basically started a whole nother side business. But it's part of the thing, guys. Like I'm just trying to grow, um, something that has longevity, right? Like voice expansion, um, the Lamro, body of work. Like that's like a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother video. Like, and I don't really want to talk about it so much on this series because this is kind of tied towards voice expansion, the business, the Imperium Academy, Easy Grow, and just kind of like plugging into that theme, right? Like for the Lamro stuff, no doubt of my imagination that it's going to have a lot of AI to it. Um, but yeah, that's mainly just supposed to be like my life's work, right? Like that's encapsulating everything that's supposed to outlive me, because the business with Sam, it's like that's the vessel to our freedom. That's what we want to grow and do and build and have it be the vessel for our skill set, development and acquisition and all that fun stuff. So, um, yeah, that's a lot of moving pieces, guys. So, all right, that's it for this one. See you guys tomorrow.